Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So if you haven't noticed, I haven't uploaded in a while, and basically what happens is when I'm really struggling, I don't want to make videos, I don't want to upload stuff, I don't want to edit, I don't want to do anything, and I just come to a point where I just don't know what to say. But I also want this to be documented as like a real... What's really happening is my hair is all over because I cut it and I cut the bangs too short. And anyway, so I want it to be real and I want to document the downs as well as the ups. It's just hard for me to come on here and talk about things when things are shitty. So anyway, so I'm breaking out all over because I'm stressed. My hair, I don't know what my hair is doing. I cut it because I decided I wanted bangs, but the bangs are too short. I spent half my grocery budget on hair dye because I wanted to dye my hair. I'm eating garbage. I'm feeling like garbage. My cold is still not going away because I'm so stressed out between work and adoption stuff. I have eczema on my hands. You probably can't really see it, but it's flaring because I'm stressed and upset, and yeah. So physically, I'm doing shitty because emotionally, I'm doing shitty. And it's really, really hard. Can you come sit with me? Come here. Come sit with Mama. Thank you. So, I'm still waiting for provincial approval, which it should be coming any day. My agency said it should be coming any day. But there was some questioning of male role models and can I afford to pay all the agency fees in time and yada yada, and they were possibly going to decline me, and there was just a whole bunch of drama surrounding it, which was not fun. So I should be receiving it any day now, but I want it in my hands so I can breathe. Because I cannot tell you how stressful it's been to not know. It seems like every time I get over one thing, another issue comes up. I'm tired of it. Anyway, I'm gonna try not to cry this whole video, but it's my life right now. Anyway, so once I get that, I can get India approval and get moving on. I'm struggling because the orphanage that Penny's currently in is being a pain in the ass and doesn't want to create a file for her and is fighting to have her fighting the transfer of her. So we're trying to get her transferred from one orphanage to the other orphanage because the other orphanage can do the paperwork for her, but the one orphanage is illegally being a pain and not doing file and not trying to help us get her moved. I don't know their reasoning behind it. I don't know if it's a financial reasoning or like what, or they don't like foreigners. So like, I just feel like everything is a fight. And when I said yes to Penny, she was supposed to have her file started. And that was in May. In May. And files can take like 3 to 6 months for them to create. So here I'm going, okay, May, June, July, August, September, maybe October, and she'll have her file ready. Nothing's been done yet. And here we are, October, and nothing's been started yet because the one orphanage is fighting to get her transferred so they can start paperwork. They have to have a medical. They have to place ads in the paper to make sure that no one, it's been 3.5 years. Anyway. I'm so angry. They're supposed to do it within like 10 days of the child arriving. It's been 3.5 years, and none of the kids in that orphanage have files. Which I understand, it's really expensive to do files for kids that you don't think are going to get homes. But if someone says, I want this child, you should automatically be like, great, let's start a file, and just start right away, instead of being a pain. Anyway, so here we are, October. Provincial approval is coming any day. India approval right now, instead of taking 2 weeks, is taking 2 to 3 months. So, it's now October 6th. hopefully by mid-October I will be registered to be for approval for India. So I'm not going to get provincial approval until like December at the earliest, depending on if things start to actually pick up. Well, Penny's file still won't be ready in time because the earliest it's probably going to be ready, even if they started it right now, would be January, if it only took 3 months for them to do it. But we could still be fighting in January for them to start it, and then 6 months from then, now we're looking at June to have her, if they start it when we start, because before I'm approved, I'm not fighting, because I can't fight to get them to do a file when I'm not even ready to accept that file. So, say I get a provincial approval, and not a provincial approval, India approval, and then we start fighting. She's not going to have a file until June. I'm so tired of fighting. And then on top of that, right now, because India's so freaking slow, from matched home it's like a year. When before it was like 6 months. So it's like, instead of having her home this summer, summer 2019, I'm looking at somewhere in 2020. And instead of having a 3 to 4 year old, I'm now going to have a 5-year-old. And it's just going to be a fight the entire time. But I'm just so tired of it. So now I'm at this point where I'm so torn. Because it's not fair to Penny for me to back out. But it's also not fair to me to have to wait forever and to fight so much when I've been fighting for 5.5 years. And I'm just so tired. People are just give up then. And I'm I can't just give up. I'm okay with saying no to a second child. I can handle that. But to say no to being a mom at all, I can't do that. And I just feel like I'm in a rock and a hard place, and there's no good situation. The other day, Tina said to me, well, if you're having this much doubts, this is maybe what your heart is making you feel like you're meant to adopt a younger child instead. And I was really upset by that, because I was no, Penny's meant to be mine. But now it's I don't feel like she's meant to be mine anymore. I don't know what I'm meant to. Oh, I'm sorry, this is a mess of a video, but I just don't know anymore what's meant to happen. And it's, Tina always says, you can't connect the dots looking forward. And I can't. I don't know what's going to happen. And I'm sure in the end, once my daughter, whoever is meant to be my daughter, is home, then I'll be oh, okay. I can connect those dots. I can know how things were meant to work out. But right now, I'm there's so many kids on the list with Down syndrome. So many. And as of currently, that I know of, there's 2 that are born late 2017. So they're not even 1 year old yet. And I could have them matched right away because they're sitting on the list. There's no file to create because they're already created. Their file is done. So technically, in December, when my approval is done, I can be matched in December immediately with no fighting for a file. And then even if it takes a year to get them home, they will be home by December 2019, which either they will be just turning 2 or have just turned 2, depending on which of those 2 I got. And that's the current list. Every day there's kids being added, and it's it's really hard for me because I always, for the longest time, I wanted a newborn. I wanted to experience from birth. And then moving on to international adoption, a big part of that was letting go of wanting a newborn or wanting a young infant And I read a lot of books about toddler adoption, and I became okay with a toddler, like a 2-year-old, maybe 3, like by the time I got them home. So that's why originally when I put in my paperwork, I did 0 to 24 months. Because I figured even if I got matched with a 24-month-old, it took a year to get them home, at least then they would be home before they're 3. And now it's like, I pushed it to get Penny, but I pushed it thinking I would be bringing home a 4-year-old. And now I'm going to be bringing home a 5-year-old. And I just don't know where to draw that line with giving up on the life I wanted. Are you stuck in the bedding, Taylor? Are you stuck? Are you stuck? And I don't want to do this again. And I've said, oh, I'll be back in a second. Okay. And I've said to multiple people on multiple occasions that I am afraid I'm going to regret giving up having a younger child because I chose to move forward with Penny. And I've said that, like, if I adopt a second one, it will be because I feel like I missed out on those younger years. And I've talked to lots of people that have adopted older children and have said that it's been wonderful and yada yada. But I don't know. And I don't know what I don't know. And I don't know what it's going to feel like once I have my child home. Am I going to regret? Am I going to wish that I adopted a young child? If I give up on Penny, am I going to regret giving up on her? Is she going to die in an orphanage because I abandoned her? Oh, I hate my life so much right now. I hate that I have to make these decisions. I hate that all the flippin' delays are forcing me to make these decisions. If Penny's file had been started, if I knew for sure that I would get Penny's file, if I knew it wasn't going to be a fight to get her file, if I knew come December I would have her file, if I knew right away, like, that 4 to 6 month usual wait to bring them home would have been that long. And maybe I was just being unrealistic and I should have known better, but... And if I had already been matched with her, whatever, like if I was matched with her now, and it was like, oh, you're not going to get her home until 2020, then okay, whatever, I matched with her, we're going to trudge along. But I'm at this point where I'm not officially matched with her, and I do have the option of not moving forward with getting her file, and it just breaks my heart that she may never get a family. But I also don't want to move ahead with adopting a child that I'm not comfortable with adopting. And age is such a stupid thing to be like, oh yeah, she's too old. And that's why so many kids don't get adopted, is because they're too old. And I hate that I'm one of them, that I'm putting her age. But maybe if I was my second or my third or whatever child, maybe it would be easier because I would have already experienced that. But for those of you that are TTC, you probably understand a bit more. Especially if you don't have any kids and you have never experienced them from a younger age. And I talked about it before, like forever ago now, but the reason I was doing 0 to 2 was because I feel so much like early intervention is so important for kids with Down syndrome. And bringing home a 5-year-old with such a high special need that hasn't had any interventions and has no language, and I just feel like I don't know if I can handle all that with a 5-year-old. I didn't know if I could handle it with a 4-year-old, but at least, like, I don't know. And for her to come into Canada and then be putting her in school, which I don't know what I'm doing for school, but at least if I had a younger child, I would have more time to make those decisions. And I don't don't know. I don't know where I'm going with any of this. I don't know where I'm going with any of this. I'm struggling. I'm really, really struggling. I'm having tons of guilt and tons of just not knowing what to do and where we move on from here. And I do technically have a couple months to figure it out. I just don't want to be feeling like this for the next couple months because this feeling sucks so much. It's so hard to feel like this. Like, no matter what I do, I don't feel like I have a good decision to make. It's not like... It's not like either decision makes me feel good. Tired. If she comes home in 2020, oh my god. It's like, what? 8 years of fighting. We're almost at 6 years. Almost at 6 years. So 7 years, 7+ years of fighting to become a mom. Like, I know people do it. I know people do. But when I've been through so many failures and every single thing is a fight. Like, the fact that we're fighting to get Penny's file. Like, why? Why? We shouldn't have to fight for that. I said to Tina, like, oh, as soon as we get provincial approval, it'll be smooth sailing because I'll just have to wait for any approval, we'll grab her file and we'll keep going. And now it's like, no. Provincial approval is just another mountain. And when we get to the top of the mountain, there's just another bigger mountain to climb. And I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. I just want to be a mom. I just want my daughter home, whoever that is. And I'm just feeling more and more like I have to grieve and give up Penny in order to make my dreams come true faster. And so that I'm not going to have those regret and the guilt of not adopting a younger child. And I know no matter what, at the end of the day, I'm giving a child a home that wouldn't have had a home. And the longer that a younger child waits for a home, the harder it is for them to get a home. So, like, no matter what, I'm saving a life. And who knows, maybe one of the little girls on the list has a heart condition. And by bringing her to Canada, she's going to be saved because I can give her a life-saving surgery that she needs. Or who knows, right? Like, I don't know. I just know that at this point in time, Penny is healthy and happy where she is because she doesn't know any different, really. She has friends in that orphanage and stuff. I don't know, I'm just... I feel like no matter what, I'm letting people down. I feel like no matter what, there's just no good option. I don't know. So anyway, if you have advice on what I should do, especially those that have been with me through everything, what would you do? What would you do? Anyway, I'm sorry, when I started this I was like, I'm not going to cry at all. I gotta not cry at all, but I hate this. I hate this. Anyway, I'm bringing a kid home. Regardless. Bringing home a little girl with Down syndrome. At this point, I just don't know who that is. No. I don't know what to do. So my brother just messaged me. And I both like and hate what he said. Because he said that no matter what, I am abandoning a child. I'm either abandoning Penny, who I have a face to, or I'm abandoning a child that I just have a number for. Like, I just have like a birth month and year or whatever. No matter what, I'm abandoning children. I'm abandoning all the boys because I want a daughter and not a son. So right there, all those children I'm abandoning. All those children that don't have Down syndrome I'm abandoning. Which now it sucks even more. I know he was saying it as like a comfort to me, like, it only hurts more that I'm abandoning Penny because I have a face to the name. And I know that's what he was meaning to do, was comfort me, but now I'm feeling even more guilty about all of the kids that I've said no to just because they're male, just because they have spina bifida or cerebral palsy or are blind, like the conditions that I was like, I don't think I can handle. But now I'm feeling even more shitty. Even though he was meaning for it to be comfort, to be like, oh, you can let go of Penny because regardless you're bringing a child home that wouldn't have had a home otherwise. He was meaning it as a positive thing, but maybe I'm just hormonal. And this all just sucks. I wish life was easier. The rest of my life is easy. Well, work is stressful right now, but everything else in my life has been a lot easier, where decisions are easier to make. And stuff like, oh, I'm gonna move to Alberta. Oh, here's a couple job offers. Okay, which one should I pick? This one that's awesome or this one that's slightly less awesome? Like, that's been my life. And now I'm faced with this, which is guilt and heartbreak. And like trying to balance out my needs. Anyway, I'm just gonna go because this is like, this is stupid now. Now I'm just rambling. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please, 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 advice down below. Just don't be super rude. Don't be super rude. I just don't need rude people right now. Like, please, share your opinion, but don't do it in a, you're an asshole kind of way. Anyway. I shall talk to you guys later. Bye, guys.